If you're building a business, is that you need branding and you need marketing.
Hello, everyone. This is Andre Barad with the Yes to Real Estate podcast show on the CC Network. Super excited to be here today, episode number 3. Before we get started on this great conversation today, I want to give a couple of shout outs. Shout out to my lovely wife, Joanne Barad. Thank you, Joanne, for what you do for the company and also half owner, right? Thank you for being the interior, exterior design and our staging coordinator for Yes to Real Estate. Thank you, my lovely wife. You're amazing. Also, my son, Chase Barad, doing an amazing job. He's 5 with growing in the business and understanding his role within the business. So thank you, Chase, for what you do. And my lovely daughter, Skylar Barad, she's 2. Thank you, Skylar, for learning and growing and saying yes to real estate as well. The one thing I have learned with having a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, and they're totally different, is understanding how to navigate between the two, and that Chase and Skylar are not the same, but understanding their own gifts and talents on how they can come and work together. A big shout out to the team, Voss and Jenny, the marketing team. So when you see the Yes to Real Estate podcast, not the podcast, but the Yes to Real Estate Instagram and commercials and things like that, that's the marketing team of Yes to Real Estate, Voss and Jenny. So thank you guys for what you do. And thank you, Michael. Michael is our analytics guy, right? He's the one who look at the numbers and saying you need to do more examples of breaking down homes and new construction and things like that. So Michael, thank you for our analytics guy and for what you do. And then we have Miss Diamond. She's our GC and also our transaction coordinator. So she's doing an amazing job with overseeing the new construction of the in and outs of Yes to Real Estate. And another thing about Yes to Real Estate is we're real big on workmanship, right? Workmanship and working as a team. So we have Ashley Green. She's a partner. She's a partner of Russ Green Properties and also Yes to Real Estate. So we do a lot of new construction and rehabs together. So thank you to all the partners and the people who keep Yes to Real Estate moving around and growing. So thank you guys. So today's topic. Oh, okay. Okay.
I didn't want to interrupt you at the beginning. I'm moving the mic because the mic.
So today we're talking about a great subject, your halftime show. So for most of us, we just had the Super Bowl, right? And the talk of the town is the halftime show. So let's give you some background of the halftime show and what it's all about before we start talking about the performance, right? So typically the halftime show comprised of different artists who perform at halftime while both teams go to the locker room to talk about halftime adjustments to the football game. Typically, the halftime show is approximately 14 minutes, right? 14 minutes, you in, you out, and you come back out and play. Well, during the Super Bowl halftime show, it's approximately 28 minutes, right? It's 28 minutes because now you give the performer enough time to perform their skit for the millions of people watching, okay? Now, let's dive a little bit deeper. So the halftime show is typically 28 minutes, and the performer pays to perform at the halftime show. Yes, I said it. The performer pays to perform at the halftime show. And we're going to dive a little bit deeper on why would someone pay to perform. So they paid to perform, and then based on the pay scale, the committee, the Super Bowl committee, decided if they wanted that particular person, he or she, to perform or not. Okay, so now we have Rihanna, right? So Rihanna paid approximately $10 to $15 million to perform at the halftime show, right? The last performance, I believe it was The Weeknd, we had over 100 views, 100 people who viewed the halftime show. So you would think that the halftime show is one of the largest opportunities to get in front as many people as possible throughout the country. Not just throughout the states, but throughout the country, right? So let's break it down. So Rihanna paid $10 to $15 million to perform at the halftime show. And each time that someone perform at the halftime show, they either get ready to go on perform for other different things, and they working on selling more tickets and get visible in front of people, right? And the halftime show is one of the opportunities to where you get criticized the most, right? Based on your performance. So we have Rihanna, right? So today's message is your halftime show. Now, we're going to break it down, and it's going to be very, very crucial that you get what you need to get from this message today, because we're talking about branding and marketing. It's not the same, but you need both in order to go to the next level. All right, so you have Rihanna. She comes and perform, right? She come, and most of the time, what happens when you are performing at the halftime show? You have special guests, right? So you have special guests who might come in and perform with you and jump back out, right? But Rihanna performed for 28 minutes by herself. Why? 28 minutes by herself. Not only that, but Rihanna performed for 28 minutes while being pregnant. That's right, everyone. Rihanna was pregnant. I remember when the halftime show was going on, and we was here at the CC Network headquarters, and I was telling everyone, Rihanna is pregnant, right? Now, I'm not an expert, but I do see a round belly. I do know a round belly when I see one, right? And I was telling all the ladies, right, because they are the experts, I said, hey, she's pregnant. And the ladies like, no. My wife was texting me, and she said, no, she just had a baby. She's not pregnant. I said, look, Joe, I'm not the expert, but I do believe she's pregnant, right? Have you ever gone to seek counsel and you know in your spirit that what you're saying is right, but the expert is telling you what you're saying is wrong? That's a message of its own right there. So as I was talking to my wife, she said, nah, it can't be. But I held fast to my belief because I knew in my spirit that she was pregnant. And I was telling everyone, I said, she's pregnant. And when the halftime show was over or whatever, they announced on People magazine that, yes, she was pregnant. This whole thing is about marketing, everyone. Now, let's unwrap it, okay? Your halftime show. So Rihanna comes out. She's in the air, right? She's on the piano keys up in the air. And everyone see the camera that was zooming in and out on her belly, right? In and out. All of that was on purpose, right? You have to understand that the message that you are receiving, the things that people are speaking to your life has a purpose. Either it's negative or positive. People are speaking into your life for a reason to cause a reaction. So as that camera was zooming in and out, what was it zooming in and out on? Her red clothing and her belly, right? And then I was telling my wife, I'm like, look, Joe, she wore that tight shirt for a reason. She's trying to show something. And I believe she's trying to show to the world that she's pregnant, right? So take this journey with me. So she's up in the air, hundreds of feet up in the air, and the camera just going in and out. And she's singing, and the piano colors is going up and down as she sings, right? Your halftime show. People are ready, right? One hit song after the other, and everybody was expecting Jay-Z to come out. Everybody was expecting
Kanye West to come out, right? Off the hit songs that she was playing, and nobody showed up. How many times have you spoken to your life and believed that this was your season and you was looking for some cosign.
My Lord. We are always looking for co-signers to co-believe with us on our vision.
That was a message of its own.
Rihanna performed 28 minutes by herself because she knew that her message that she wanted to get out, she did not want any co-signers. How many times we like, man, this would be a great idea. What you think, John? John, you think this is going to be a great idea? We waiting and we looking for co-signers to believe in our vision as well. What do you do when you believe in something and you're working on something and you're going around to ask people, what do they think about this? And everybody's telling you no. What do you do?
Hi, I'm Stephen Thompson, and when I'm not DJing and giving people the vibes, I'm cultivating a community at Community Cultivation Network. We'd love to see you. We'd love to have you. We'd love for you to view our podcast. Not only are we the best, we're the best. And if you don't believe us, that's too bad. We love you. From here and everywhere else.
Now let's get back to cultivating community. Yes. Hit song after hit song, Rihanna began to play. 5 minutes went by. No other person came out. 10 minutes came by. 15 minutes. Right? And then all of a sudden the piano was playing and then they lowered, right? Everybody's in white and she's in red. Everybody's in white and she's in red. What is that signal of? Pregnancy, the sperm, right? So when you think about it, she's the egg and all the white was nothing but the sperm going to the egg. My Lord, it was so many messages within the performance and we was too focused on she's not busting enough moves. We want her to do a cartwheel, a flip, or get down on her knees. Nobody wasn't looking at the total message. And she was displaying it right before our eyes, right? If you know anything about pregnancy, you already know you just need that one sperm to get to the egg for the pregnancy. And Rihanna was in red as the egg. So as she got down, unhooked herself, she began to walk towards the camera again. Remember, the camera plays a vital role in exposing the message that Rihanna wanted to get out. So as she got down, what did she do? She picked up her makeup kit. You think it was just by coincidence she wanted to refresh herself in front of millions of people? No. She got the makeup kit, smiled at the camera, put it on, and gave it back to the person and continued to sing. Marketing, branding. One thing that you have to understand that in this season that you're in, if you're building a business, is that you need branding and you need marketing. So what is Rihanna brand? It's her cosmetic line. It's worth $1.5 billion. You think just by coincidence she picked up the makeup, put it on, and put it back and kept singing? Her brand and marketing. Her brand was the makeup. Her marketing was get in front of millions of people to say, hey, I have my own cosmetic business and I'm pregnant. So as she was walking towards the front singing and dancing, she put the makeup on and the camera just zooming in and out. Zooming in and out.
The message. And then you hit
10 minutes, then 15 minutes, and nobody came out to perform with her. And all of a sudden, I'm on Instagram and Facebook. Oh, she's not dancing enough. What's going on? This is boring. And all I was doing was looking at it, and I'm like, she is brilliant. Because how many times and opportunities you would have to get in front of millions of people to share your marketing, to share your brand, right? So a lot of people was looking up the upfront costs, right? The upfront costs of the $10 or $15 million she had to invest in order to get in front of millions. Rihanna was willing to invest. 15 million. She's a billionaire. She understood that if I invest this 10 or 15 million dollars to get in front of millions of people to talk about my brand, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. So let's break down branding again. So when you think about branding, you think about what do you believe in, right? When you think about the jump man, you think about what? Michael Jordan, right? When you think about the Nike symbol, the swoosh sign, what you think about? Nike, right? So when you think about the Apple, right? You think about Apple, right? So all of these brands has a reason and they are sending out a message. But in order for us to know about Nike, Apple, Yes to Real Estate, you need to have marketing, right? You need to have marketing. And marketing comes in play because you have to get in front of people so people can know your brand. You have to get in front of people in order for people to know your brand, right? So our brand, to break it down a little bit, is you see the Yes to Real Estate here, right? You see the Yes to Real Estate, and then you see a key in the middle of the yes, right? All of this is for a reason. The key in the middle of the yes, and then right below you see the to real estate. Right? This is our brand, right? So when you see this anywhere, you already associated with Andre and the team, right? And also with the brand is that now we can just go with this Y with the key in the middle, and people will associate that with Yes to Real Estate. Why is that? We spend a lot of time on marketing, and that's marketing our brand, right? So one ways that we market our brand is pretty much what Rihanna did on a smaller scale, though. But we didn't spend $10 and $15 million, not yet, right? But we did invest in partnership with the CC Network, right? Partnership with EYL Houston, and partnership with other people in the community, volunteering, sponsorship, and just being out there and helping people at their point of need. And it always comes back. And it's been a tremendous ride because before we start the brand, which was 2 years ago, we did $3.6 million in transaction, right? And then we start marketing the brand more. Then we did $13.6 million. And then last year we did $24.7 million in transaction. And people are like, what changed, Andre? Branding and marketing. Branding and marketing. Marketing your brand everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. We go places now and people are telling me yes before I can tell them yes, right? They're like, oh, we know you the yes guy, right? So they know the brand before they even know my name. And our whole mission was to make sure that people, when people say yes to real estate, they're not seeing it as an individual. They're seeing it as themselves, a movement. Hey, yes, I am yes to real estate. You know, I am buying homes. I am buying rentals. I am yes to real estate. So people start taking on the brand themselves and start saying that I am yes to real estate. So we dive in deeper on Rihanna and her whole situation. As the halftime show was going on, she was dancing. 15 minutes went by, 20 minutes went by, and I'm just observing everything she's doing. The color coordination, the makeup, the camera zooming in and on her belly. Because I knew that Rihanna was not focused on pleasing people. Because we as people, sometimes we want to just be pleased. We want to be entertained. Rihanna was not about just entertaining the people. Rihanna came with a message. She came with an agenda. Her agenda was to let the millions of people know she was pregnant, to let the people know about her cosmetics, right? And to let the people know about what she's planning on doing next, right? So as she was performing, I was telling my wife, I said, Joe, Riri is sending a message and she's pregnant, right? So once everything was over, People magazine kind of share with everyone that they confirmed that she is pregnant. Now, do you think that's a coincidence that People magazine all of a sudden confirmed? No, all of this was marketing, branding. It was for a reason. She did all of this knowing that 15 that she invested, she was going to make triple and quadruple the amount, right? People magazines shared about the millions, right? And then a lot of people don't know is that I believe that eventually 1 to 2 years that Riri is going to take her company public. And when you think about it, she take a cosmetic company public, that's another $1 billion, right? So everything that Riri did in the halftime show, she invested $15 million up front, but she's gonna get $1 billion return on her money. How many of us are willing to brand ourselves and to market our brand and understand that everything that I do now, it might not reap a harvest right now, right? Because a lot of people would say, oh, I wouldn't dare pay $15 million to perform at the halftime show, right? How many of us have said, no, I wouldn't dare sponsorship a table or sponsorship an event because there's no guarantee I'm going to get money from it. But what we have to understand is that when your brand and you are marketing your brand throughout the city, throughout the state, throughout the world, sponsorship is one avenue of that. And the more people that's talking about you, the more people who knows about you is a better opportunity for you to reap a return on your investment. You know, we're talking about your halftime show. And it's very important that I love the halftime show of what we just witnessed because it was so many emotions all while the show was performing. You had people who was excited. You had people talking about it was the worst show ever. It was people talking about she was out of shape. It was so many things that people was talking about while she was performing her halftime show. I'm here today to let you know that we all are experiencing a halftime show. My question to you is, what are you doing with your halftime show? You are at a stage right now to where you're ready to go to the next level. And people are telling you it doesn't make sense. You're moving too fast. You don't have everything in line. You need to slow down. People are watching your halftime show, critiquing you while you're performing. What are you going to do in your halftime show? A great example is that when we started building new construction, the thought about it, I'm real big on seeking counsel, seeking, hey, let me get some feedback of this product we want to build. And when I tell you that everybody told me I shouldn't do it, Andre, Fifth Ward is not ready for this type of new construction. You're in the worst side of Fifth Ward. You need to wait. You need to revise your plans. You need to put a garage on your townhomes. It's not going to work. Look, I put in a lot of time and effort on my halftime show, and people was critiquing me and telling me ways and why it wouldn't work. How many of you are going through a season right now and people are telling you why you're not going to make it out? Why you're not going to go to the next level? They are critiquing your halftime show while you're performing. But I'm here to tell you is that you continue to perform your halftime show. So as the people was telling me that I shouldn't do it, it was something, it was the Holy Spirit telling me that, Andre, you are predestined and determined for this moment. The Lord said, Andre, I want you to perform your halftime show. And not only do I want you to perform it, I want you to let the millions of people watch you do it. So as we was building, I was on Clubhouse, on Instagram, Facebook, letting people in on the journey of my halftime show. Just as Riri was performing in front of millions of her halftime show to present her message to the millions, we did it as well. We sold our first townhome for $275,000. We sold our second townhome for $300,000. My halftime show. We sold the third one for $335,000. People calling me crazy. People laughing at me. People like, this is not a good area. But guess what? I kept performing. I'm talking to the millions of people watching right now. I want to encourage you to continue to perform. What the Lord had put in your heart to do, it's your time and your season to do it. We built our last townhome and sold it for $340,000. And guess what, everyone? Everybody who comes to Fifth Ward today has to come through me. Your halftime show. I was laughed at, talked about. Now people are calling me the expert matter. What changed? I tell you what changed. I continue to perform my halftime show. Are you willing to be laughed at, joked at, called out, and still perform? Because I guarantee you that if you follow through your passion, your goal, and your dream that you're working on, you will be the expert matter, and the people will come to you to seek advice. We built that last townhome, and now we have other builders in the same area that we are building in. The same area where the expert told me not to build, that is not going to work. Now other people have come along. You see, while you performing your halftime show, you have to understand that you're not just performing for yourself. You're performing for your legacy. Riri was there in front of millions of people to continue to build her empire. She's a billionaire now because of the halftime show and what she's working on. She's about to be worth over $3 billion. Is it worth being laughed at then? Perform your halftime show. Understand that this is a journey, that you performing this, people's life is going to be changed, and people need to see what you're doing. Make sure that you continue to brand yourself, continue to market yourself, and understand that if you're consistent and persistent with your journey, your halftime show will be available for millions of people to watch as well. So I'm here to encourage you and say thank you. Thank you for not giving in. Thank you for continuing your journey. Thank you for crying, wiping your tears, because no one understands. Thank you for being vulnerable, because when it's new and it's fresh, people will not understand. And thank you for saying yes to real estate. See you at the top.
Hello, everyone. This is Andre Barra with the Yes to Real Estate podcast. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like, and check out our other episodes right here on the Community Cultivator Network and the Yes to Real Estate podcast. See you at the top.